Let's hit the field.
It is Friday, July 25th, and the Yankees were taking on the Phillies in Game 1 of a weekend 3-game series. Long balls were flying at Yankee Stadium, and they picked up Ryan McMahon for third base. We'll talk about all of that. I got Terrence Kemp in studio, and we'll talk trade deadline, my recap, your reactions coming up next. This is Pinstripe Territory.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
TK, welcome back. My hat's crooked. It's bothering me. Tonight calls for, I think, a little bit of pinstripe therapy. This was a rough one, man. I saw you had crafted up a bunch of plans, and then you changed them mid-show. You want to show the audience your battle plans here?
I was playing GM a little bit. I was scribbling down some notes, as you can see, salaries, trade ideas, lineup ideas, and then eventually I was like, you know what? The way this game is going, I'm going to start from scratch.
That's something that I've been preaching for a couple weeks. And last night I had a podcast about the crisis the Yankees find themselves in. And I suggested that they sell. And a lot of people said, well, they're in playoff position, right? Why sell, when you got a chance to make the playoffs? Well, this team's not going to do anything in the playoffs, not with a bullpen like this. They cannot compete with the top teams with pitching the way it is. Also, they hit so many home runs, but almost all of them seem to be solo home runs. While you see the other teams hitting their home runs with guys on base. I don't think that, as Idaho Graybeard says, you can fix the problems that the Yankees have in one trade deadline. Certainly not with Ryan McMahon, who we'll talk about in a few minutes. But very, very tough night for the Yankees. Let's get to the recap, and then we'll go ahead and just kind of talk through all the problems.
All right, let's go. Let's get it going.
There's so many problems. So we had home run picks the other night, the last time you were on. You picked Cody Bellinger and Jazz Chisholm. Cody wasted no time. No doubt home run into the second deck, 19 home runs for him now. My pick, one of them, was Austin Wells, and he went deep. So right away, if you're betting money on Derek and Terrence, doing good. Just don't bet on the Yankees, right? Because they're going to let you down. Phillies tied it up on a 2-run home run by Kyle Schwarber. TK, let's veer off topic for a minute. Has there ever been a time where the Yankees had a chance to get Kyle Schwarber? I feel like there's been multiple times where he's been brought up in trade rumors. I feel like there was a free agency period, but I wasn't sure if there was a match. I've been racking my brain, but I feel like his swing has always been built for Yankee Stadium, and tonight he showed it why. He showed us why.
Yeah, he killed us tonight. And there's definitely been multiple points where that was circulating. He was in Chicago, and then he was in Boston for a little bit. Then I think he ends up in Philly in free agency. But more so than Kyle Schwarber, though, every time I see the Phillies, I just get annoyed when I see Bryce Harper. That's the one for me. I just get annoyed.
Yeah. Harper was the guy, but Harper 0 for 4 tonight. But you know what? When the Yankees were after when they were consideration for Harper or rumored with Harper, I believe it was Cashman said he doesn't play first base, right? And then I look up and Harper's playing first base, and he does a hell of a job at first base. There were a couple of good things tonight. Will Warren, I thought, threw the ball pretty well against a tough offense. He gave up 2 runs. It was the home run to Kyle Schwarber, but 5 2/3 innings of 2-run ball, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, so back to getting strikeouts. They had been down a little bit, but the ERA on the season, 4.82. I thought he was okay. It seems like he's either, really solid or just horrendous, TK.
Yeah, that's kind of a sign of a young pitcher. I think a lot of young pitchers kind of go through that. Consistency is hard to have, but yeah, with the season the way it's gone, it is that. He is either pretty solid, sometimes really good, but his bad starts are like really, really bad. Like I'm talking like 8 runs in like 3 innings kind of bad. So it's I don't know what he is. I guess he's like he's a 5th starter that's gonna take the ball. Is he gonna be Clark Schmidt? Is that his ceiling to you?
Maybe.
Like, is he Clark Schmidt in 2 years?
I think he might strike out more guys than Clark Schmidt because he's already striking out more guys than Clark Schmidt.
Guys a lot.
I think maybe Michael King is like a decent comparison. I mean, you look at the movement he gets on the baseball. He could be a Michael King type of pitcher, but Go-ahead home run from Giancarlo Stanton tonight, number 6 on the season, opposite field shot. Volpe went deep on his bobblehead night. I didn't see a standing ovation, so my efforts there failed. But Paul Goldschmidt tried to nail Trey Turner at home on a ground ball in the infield.
I think we have a very good defensive club.
And threw it into Westchester County. That's, I mean, every day it's something ridiculous, right? I mean, they were just obscenely bad defensively. And then JT Realmuto blew it open with a 3-run home run to make it 6-3. Yankees battled back a little bit, but Dreamweaver has become a nightmare since the hamstring injury. 7 home runs in his last 15 innings. What's your level of concern? I'm approaching 9.5 out of 10 on him.
I'm already at a 10. I mean, I'm very concerned. I don't know if he's playing hurt. I don't know if he came back too quickly. Maybe the injury, maybe he's kind of pitching, his mechanics have changed a little bit because he's pitching with the pulled hamstring in mind, just mentally. But I'm very concerned because that was one of your high leverage relievers, one of your very effective high leverage relievers during the playoffs last year and to start the season. And he has just not been the same since the hamstring injury. And it is just, they have no arms. We'll talk about that a little bit more in depth, but it is just ridiculous, Derek.
Yeah, we got a comment here from TC Steels. He says, should we call time of death for this team? They're definitely on life support. It might be time to pull the plug, pull the sheet up over them. But Judge brought in the 5th run with a sac fly. Rare occurrence, 2 productive outs in the same inning for the Yankees. We had Grisham hit a ground ball to the right side to move the runner over, and then Judge got him in. But how crazy is it that we're celebrating that because it's such a rare occurrence? I mean, that should happen every single night, multiple times per night, productive outs. But it's just such a rare thing for the Yankees. And then Schwarber, another home run, 36. Phillies made it uglier in the 9th inning. They got 4 runs in the 9th inning. I think Ian Hamilton might be done. He just looks like ass every time out. Scott Efros has an 8.44 ERA, another gem of a trade deadline move for Cashman back in 2022. We got hosed on that one. Every single pitcher that pitched tonight for the Yankees gave up a run. Here's Brian.
Wanted to leave this stat fast. 5 Yankees pitchers tonight, every single one of them allowed a run. We need pitching help. Ryan McMahon, great addition. Love it. This team needs pitching help in bed. Probably 2 relievers, possibly even a 3rd starter, or a number 3 starter. I meant to.
I got a better idea. Blow it up! Blow it up. That's... Anyway, Francis says 4 solo jacks, no one on base, the dinger or nothing for this pathetic club. No bunts, no hit and runs, no moving runners, no defense. Sick. Sell, sell, sell. I mean, he's not wrong, TK. It's hard to get excited about the home runs when they're all solo shots because they don't get hits. They just don't get hits. I don't understand how this team hits so many home runs but can't hit singles, can't hit doubles. And well, they did have 10 hits tonight, right? But 4 of them left the ballpark. They don't get hits with runners on base. They're just, I don't know how to diagnose this team. They can't put together rallies. It's awful.
Yeah, man, it's almost like a little bit too lenient on the analytics, and that's not to say that the analytics are just gonna go away. They're not. They're here to stay. That's just the way it is. Does it work over the 162? Yeah, I think it works, but I'm not really a believer in the 3 true outcomes: walk, strikeout, and a home run. Because to me, it's like you can still have a productive at-bat by grounding out or by having a fly out or putting the ball in play. Sometimes you ground out to the shortstop and he throws it over his head, over the first baseman's head because his name is Anthony Volpe. Sometimes good things happen when you just put the ball in play and just play sound fundamental baseball. And I think a lot of fans are getting really tired, sick and tired of this kind of Yankees. I think this has really started, Derek, when they acquired Stanton, I feel like they really went into the home run or bust sort of mentality because it was another home run hitter. Their lineup was already home run, kind of a lineup that hit a lot of home runs. And that's not to say that teams that hit a lot of home runs don't win a lot, but that's just sometimes not what you need in certain situations, and they just can't get it done if they don't go yard.
The Passion Nobel says the dorks ruin sports. Look at the shit they did to the NBA. Yeah, NBA's unwatchable right now. Let's go to the McMahon deal real quick. Another lefty strikeout machine, a little bit of power. At least he's decent defensively. We look at the StatCast metrics. His xWOBA is above average. His expected batting average is only 232. He's only hitting 217, so he's been mildly unlucky. Average exit velocity is good. Barrel percentage, hard hit percentage, sweet spot, bat speed, all good. Doesn't square the ball up enough and strikes out at an astronomical rate. He does draw walks. To me, you look at these numbers, other than being a decent fielder and being a good base runner, he's the prototypical Yankee because he hits the ball hard and strikes out a ton. I don't think that it's obviously a big move offensively. I think it will improve the defense. It'll move the needle a little bit. But, Yankees are 5.5 games back now with a little over 2 months to play. I'm not sure it moves the needle all that much. He is better than Oswald and Jorbit on defense. I mean, on offense, probably on defense too. But I'm just not like super excited. It's just a kind of a mid move for me.
Yeah, is it really gonna make me like, oh, World Series back on? No. Is it a move that I like? Yeah, I like the move. I don't think they gave up a ton to get him. All right, they gave up 2 minor league arms. Like, to go to Colorado too. I don't really, that's, you said it before in the previous show, like that's where pitchers go to die. Everyone knows that. So they didn't really give up anything. He's under control for 2 more years. I think after this year, he's making $12 million this year, and then he makes $16 million over the next 2 seasons, and then he's a free agent. So like, I think it's almost like an insurance move. Like, let's just get like a proven player to be in at third. And I don't know if I'm kind of reading too much into this, Derek, but you let me know what you think. But I think it kind of gives them a lot of options in the infield just to have a guy that's under control for 2 more seasons, because Jazz is a free agent after next year. Maybe they don't think Volpe's all that anymore, and when Lombard is ready to come up, they'll move him, and Lombard will be at short, and they don't have to put Lombard at third. So I think the move, it kind of gives them a lot of like maneuverability, and it's like an insurance move to me.
Yeah. Look, I don't know what to say. I mean, it's a trade, but it's not a big deal, and I don't think there are deals out there that can fix this team. But let's go ahead and run down like who could be available. We still have Merrill Kelly out there, Zach Gallen. O'Neal Cruz is a guy who we've seen mentioned quite a bit. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me because he's an outfielder. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, he was a shortstop. He was just really bad at it, and then they put him in the outfield. So if the Yankees were to acquire him, they probably would have stuck him at third if they were going to do that. But I don't really think it's a move they should make. The outfield is already super crowded as it is. If you make a move like that, that means that Grisham is gone. That means that maybe the Martian is gone. I just feel like it's like a lateral move. He strikes out a lot. His kind of that play also was disgusting. He was in center. He misses a ground ball. It goes all the way to the wall, and he just stands there and watches it. And as soon as I saw that play, I was like, I don't want that. No chance. I do not want that player on my team.
Let me ask you this. O'Neal Cruz for Jason Dominguez, straight up. I mean, the tools for Cruz versus the potential tools for Dominguez. That's something I've seen, and I saw that online today, and I've been battling with it all day because I love Dominguez. I'm a huge Dominguez stan, but it would be hard to say no to that. I mean, Cruz is a 219 hitter, but he's got like game-changing speed, game-changing power. He could be one of those guys that like 1 or 2 tweaks at 26 years old, and he becomes like an astronomically good player. Just the athleticism is off the charts. I would have a tough time, even as a Dominguez super fan, saying no to that.
I wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't do it. I'm not ready to give up on Dominguez. This is his
I wouldn't be giving up. I mean, and I don't even know if I would do it, but
no, I definitely, I think if you do it, you kind of are giving up on Dominguez, I guess, because you're shipping him out. But I just don't think it's worth doing, because I don't even know what Jason Dominguez is yet. This is his first full season in the majors. I don't even think they've really treated him all that fairly, because Grisham has been way better, I think, than they thought he was going to be. Jason Dominguez should have been playing every single day this season, but he hasn't been. So I just don't think it's really fair to kind of give up on the guy before he's had like a season of playing 155 games or whatever it would be. I just wouldn't do it myself.
I'm going to share O'Neal Cruz's stats. Hitting just 217, so fit right in with the Yankees. I mean, that's the average of the guy that just traded for today. But last year hit 260 roughly. He's got 16 home runs. He's got 34 stolen bases already. I probably would not pull the trigger. I love Dominguez, and I have a lot of value in guys who hit for a little bit more average, and he seems like a guy who, the way his approach at the plate, the way he takes the ball the other way and stuff, I think he's a guy who's going to hit 270, 280, 290 most seasons with 20-plus home run power, and he's a good base runner. So I don't think I would deal him for Cruz, but I would have a tough time. It would be a long internal debate if I were Brian Cashman, just because of the athleticism that Cruz has. But he's also defensively not great either in the outfield or at shortstop. So ultimately probably wouldn't do it. Seth Lugo, we had a call about him the other day. I believe it was from Brian. I like Seth Lugo, but again, the bullpen is what they need to address, and the prices are going to be astronomical for relievers because every team needs bullpen help. Emmanuel Clase obviously could be the guy, but honestly, TK, I think the smartest move, and this is not going to sound like a super fan saying this, I think the Yankees should sell. I think they should sell. I think if I inherited the Yankees from Hal Steinbrenner, whatever, some weird thing happens and he leaves the Yankees to me.
47th cousins removed. Let's just say.
And he writes me into his will and he drops dead and he says, "Okay, I want Derek to own the Yankees." First thing I'm doing is I'm telling Brian Cashman and Aaron Boone that we're punting this year, and I would tell Cashman to get everything he can for guys presently on our roster that make, let's say $5 million or more, other than maybe Aaron Judge. And then after the season, I would get rid of Cashman and I would get rid of Boone and I would start over with some fresh guys and I would try and win a championship in Judge's career. Maybe it might take a couple of years to get there, but maybe he can finish out strong, kind of like John Elway with the Broncos, right? But I just don't see the team getting where they want to be with this present roster and with this present organizational approach. And we got a chat here from A-Rod. I don't think it's the A-Rod. He says, when the lineup changes every day, you won't get consistent hitting. I agree with that. You'll get home runs, but that's it. Errors are made due to wrong positions, too. Excellent chat.
Yep. I do really want to get into like all of what you would do if you own the Yankees, because like I got some thoughts on that. But can you pull up Seth Lugo's Savant page for me? Because I want to also just address that really quickly. So he's got a 2.95 ERA this season in 19 starts, and he's 7-5. His Savant page sucks. So that tells me that his stats to me are like a mirage. I really think he's going to kind of regress in the
I think it tells me that he's a good pitcher, right? That he can win without great stuff, that he knows how to pitch. I look, as a guy who pitched with a torn labrum for like 8 years and had to learn how to get guys out with a fastball that couldn't break a window, I know that there's value in changing speeds and moving the ball in and out. I've watched Jimmy Key do it. I watched Andy Pettitte do it at the end of his career, and CC Sabathia, Mike Messina. Pitchers, as they age, they have to learn how to pitch without the metrics that support it, right? You've got to learn how to mix and match and so forth. And look at his breaking ball run value. He's basically a breaking ball pitcher. He throws cutters, he throws sinkers, he throws a million different pitches, and he spots them. And he's got an above-average walk percentage. So I feel like even though he doesn't strike out a lot of guys and doesn't light up the radar gun, he's a good pitcher. He knows how to pitch. But I don't think he solves the Yankees' problems. They need bullpen help, and he's not a relief pitcher. They need like 3 guys who are shut-down relievers, and they're just not out there. And if they were out there, the Yankees couldn't afford them anyway in terms of like prospects, because Cashman can't build an organization.
No, I mean, the thing about Lugo is like, I'm just looking at it, his expected ERA is a 4.56. His average exit velo is like a 90 miles an hour off the bat. So I'm more looking at those numbers, but I get your point. He's a veteran. He's a crafty guy. He does throw like 10 pitches, and I'm sure he knows how to get guys out, but I just wouldn't be interested. I'm a huge Emmanuel Clase fan. I've been saying that the whole time. I would make the move just because he's under contract for a long time. So if you made the move, you still have him on your team for a while. But like, dude, I would be looking to move. If I'm gonna sell and kind of retool, like I'd be looking to move Devin Williams. I'd be looking to move Trent Grisham. I'd be looking to move Paul Goldschmidt. I'd be looking to move probably Cody Bellinger, but I would re-sign Cody Bellinger, a la like Chapman for Gleyber
Yeah,
Torres. And
tell him to
I
opt
would
out.
do that.
Say, hey, we're going to move you. We're going to build this team up. Opt out. We'll re-sign you. That's a brilliant strategy. That's a brilliant strategy.
I would totally do that. But I think it's at this point, I think Spencer Jones has to get called up. He needs a shot. He's just playing too well in AAA to be kept down there. Especially if you're not going to trade him. But like at this point, man, it's just like let's see what the young kids got, because you have to see what you have in your organization and move the expiring deals off your contract and try to get a lot back for them. And if they acquire Emmanuel Clase, like I'm okay with that, because Weaver's not the same and Williams is either going to be gone in free agency or moved. And then they don't really have a closer, and he's under contract for like 3 or 4 more years. So I'm okay with acquiring him as like a great piece or whatever, but that would be the quickest way, I think, to reload and retool is move the expiring deals off the team, get some young assets back, some AAA guys that are knocking on the door, move Spencer Jones up, let him play the rest of the season, give Ben Rice some like a long leash there at first. And then in the wintertime, there's going to be some heavy lifting to do. And then you can kind of see, okay, what do we have? What do we have here? What can we build with?
Jeremy Schatzer says they aren't realistically going to sell this year. So what do we do? And I think he's 100% right. I mean, the smart thing to do is rebuild the organization, retool, like use the assets that you have, get what you can, and be better next year. But because that's the smart move, Cashman won't do it. There's no freaking way he'll do it. All right, we got a couple more voicemails, but first I got to get to DraftKings. Quick 60-second ad, then we'll be back to finish things off. Tough night for the Yanks. Nothing says summer like long days, clutch plays, and firing off a few bets on the game. All with DraftKings Sportsbook. Pick a guy to go yard, hammer some live odds mid-game, or just ride with your squad and hope for the best. DraftKings customers bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code FOUL for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for a gambling problem. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. John Elmer says this team simply lacks proper fundamentals, and everybody's inconsistent playing time doesn't help. I mean, baseball is a game that you play every day for a reason. It takes a rhythm, right? You got to get into a rhythm. And I don't know that it's like how golfers like to play every single day, right? You got to continuously build that muscle memory. But guys playing, 2 days on, a day off, and that's on Brian Cashman. That's on the way he built this roster. And I don't know that there's a solution to it forthcoming this year.
Yeah, I just think there's too many holes to fix at the trade deadline. I'll give Michael Kay was talking about this on his radio show, like going to the grocery store and buying milk and buying eggs. There's too many things on the grocery list to go to the grocery store to purchase. Like, you don't have enough money for all the things that you need at the grocery store. I just don't see how. Are you really going to acquire like 5 bullpen arms? Because that's what they need right now. They need like 5 arms in the bullpen. Like, if I'm being actually real about this, they need a starting pitcher. I know that the Padres were looking to move Cease maybe, but the Red Sox offered them a deal that I would have taken that they said no to. So they're definitely asking for a king's ransom for Cease. Not to mention that you got Houston, Detroit, Cleveland, and actually Cleveland sellers, but like Toronto, Boston might be trying to make some moves here. The Mets, like there's other teams out there that need pitching that are going to offer ridiculously valuable packages that I don't even think the Yankees can compete with. Like, what's the point of depleting your farm system to get bounced again by the Houston Astros or to get bounced by the Detroit Tigers, who are playing awful,
or the
by the
Blue
way.
Jays, or the Blue Jays, who
or
just
the Blue
kicked
Jays
our
right
ass
now,
all year long. Yeah.
Best record in baseball right now, the Blue Jays, 62-42.
Unbelievable. Well, I mean, I guess it is believable. We just witnessed it. They're a really good team.
Yeah.
Well, man,
they put the ball in play.
Yeah, and they hustle and they play hard and they run the same guys out there. Hey, TK, I don't know what to say, man. It's going to be an interesting week. We got the trade deadline coming up on Thursday. Yankees could realistically be 8 games out by that point, right? They could realistically be out of a playoff spot by then. I will stand by this. I think the Yankees should sell. I think the smart move is to trade people away and get people back into the organization that can possibly help next year or possibly be moved in the offseason in different kind of deals when you have more time. And let's not forget, there's probably a lockout coming next year, and we don't know how long that's going to last, but it's going to hurt. It's going to sting. And there's going to be a flurry of moves. People are going to be rushing to get stuff done either before the lockout or right after the lockout. So the more assets you can have, the better. I don't think they have what it takes this year. I think the moment Garrett Cole went down, we were screwed, right? And then now that we've lost Clark Schmidt, and, we've had all these guys underperforming. The entire bullpen is just dog shit right now. I just don't think that this team has what it takes to make a deep playoff run. And that doesn't make someone a bad fan to think that or make them, give up on the season or whatever. It's just from watching the other teams that we play, the Yankees are just not that competitive against the good teams. They're just not. And to be in denial about that doesn't help anybody, right? And to be in denial about everything doesn't help everybody.
We have a very good defensive club.
So
I just can't. And it's like the constant. It's like I'm being gaslit by my own favorite team too. About I'm watching the games too, man. I don't know how you can look at the fan base in the face and just be like, yeah, we're just a couple pieces away. It's just, there's just a fundamental problem with the team and with the organization right now. And they need to reload. They just need to reload, period.
Yeah.
They need to change something.
99 Problems with the final word of the night. He says, "You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me."
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for me. I'm going to go just kind of unwind and try and get my mind off this game. Maybe I'll watch a little bit of Netflix, but I just can't handle baseball anymore tonight. It's too stressful. TK, thanks again for joining. By the way, fun story. I go to the dentist today, which was, by the way, way more fun than watching this game, having my gums prodded with, sharp instruments. And my hygienist, I said, I told them a while ago about the podcast. And she said to me today, "I started watching for you. I kept watching because of TK." So big TK fan.
Nice.
Here in my dentist's office.
She a Yankee fan?
Oh yeah. So.
Oh yeah, there you go.
All over TK. All right, man. We'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, do us a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and join our community. You can also be a part of the show by calling in at 718-899-1068. Also, part of the way that we maintain and fund all of this is through NYYDesigns.shop. Check it out now. Get all sorts of fun Yankees merch, hats, hoodies, zip-ups, beanies, mugs, you name it. We've got it. Check it out, NYYDesigns.shop. And check out Pinstripe Territory on all your favorite podcast platforms. We are the official Yankees podcast of the Foul Territory Network. We're here for post-game shows after every single game, and we're here before a lot of games to talk about the game, preview the lineup, the pitching matchups, and things like that. And we're here all off-season to talk about the latest in Yankees rumors, news, etc. Join our community. We'll see you next time.